Hey everyone, Game Informer recently released a bunch of Taken King news, and much more is coming with Gamescom. Their September issue is focused on Taken King, and they were able to get lots of exclusive information. We already have a video about the news that they covered regarding level cap and progression, but in this video I wanted to specifically cover the trailer that Game Informer released, as it shows off lots of snippets of Taken King footage. Now that the build that you're seeing is currently a dev build and not final, but there's still a lot that we can talk about here. Also, there's a few new articles on our website that you can read for more information, so I encourage you guys to go check those out after watching. So let's see here. First off, you can see the 347 Vesta Dynasty and a location called the Gateway, which is possibly the raid entrance. We learned today that the new raid is called King's Fall. If it is the raid entrance, then you may be able to enter in at level 38. Next, we see an invisible Night Stalker hunter invading what appears to be Crota's End, but things have obviously changed now. So this could be a story mission where we have to get something to help us defeat Oryx. And in this shot we can see what looks like the Stranger's Rifle at first glance, but what you're seeing here is actually called No Time to Explain. It's an exotic pulse rifle. Game Informer says that No Time to Explain answers the desire for a high-level version of the Stranger's Rifle. Nailing precision hits with it will return ammo directly to the magazine. And speaking of exotics, there's going to be over a dozen new exotic weapons and half a dozen new exotic armor pieces for each class. They say that there's an exotic auto rifle that shoots bolts of chain lightning and a sniper rifle that blinds enemies on precision hit. I can't wait to harass people with that in the Crucible. That's going to be fun. We also get a first look at what the Sleeper Stimulant looks like in-game. Sleeper Stimulant is a heavy fusion rifle that charges an over-penetration laser through enemy targets and bounces off walls. You'll need to go on multiple missions in order to get it. Other than that, the location you're seeing here is the start of the story. It takes place on Phobos, and it's here that you will first discover what's happening with the taken enemies. Now here we get a first look at a brand new Crucible map, and it appears to be somewhere in the Reef. There's a total of 8 new Crucible maps. Next, we see another new map, possibly on Mercury. Also notice the control interface has changed a bit. We don't see it here, but there's also a new mode called Zone Control, in which the only way to receive points is by capturing the point. Kills don't reward points at all. And another look at Oryx. We're going to get multiple cinematics throughout the Taken King, and I am so excited to see all of them because so far it looks badass. Now this scene is probably what we're going to see when flying to the Dreadnought. We're not going to be able to get there immediately and we'll need to finish a few missions first before we are able to board it. Now this is another look at the beautiful 347 Vesta Dynasty. I've talked about this weapon in the past and gone over its perks, but they may end up changing it. I'll leave a link in the description to the current 347 Vesta Dynasty page so you can see and check out its stats. Next, we see a cutscene. Thankfully, the Taken King is going to introduce skippable cutscenes, because there's going to be a lot of them. There will be a few cinematics interspersed throughout the story mission so we can get a better sense of what's actually going on in the story and game world. Now check this out. We can see here that the Guardian levels up through experience, which we talked about before, but look at the machine gun. This really looks like Thunderlord's cousin, but maybe it's just a cool legendary perk for solar weapons. Not really sure about that. Here's another one of the 8 new Crucible maps. This one looks to be set somewhere on the Dreadnought. One of the most interesting things about the Crucible is that they're adding in Crucible quests and also new types of Crucible bounties. If you finish off all the Crucible bounties for the week, a 6th will become available that offers a big reward such as legendary or an exotic weapon. Alright, now coming up you can see a familiar location, but the footage shows a Vex being killed on patrol, so my guess is that Mars is going to be expanded just a little bit, so that there's new areas on Mars to go patrol. I'm hoping that each planet is going to open up even more, even if it's only locations that we've seen in the Crucible before. It'll still make the world feel larger. This new patrol location isn't the exciting part though. Look at the bottom left of the screen and you'll see what looks like a sword, and it's not just one that you pick up for a few seconds either. You can see it has an ammo counter and an element. So what is it? Well, Game Informer says that quests from Eris Morn will lead to the rediscovery of a forgotten weapon type, and that forgotten weapon type just might be this sword, guys. Nearing the end here, we can see another look at the Echo Chamber Strike. Before the guy switches to the Omelon weapon, he's holding a weapon that we haven't seen before. My guess is that it's a King's Fall raid weapon. Echo Chamber is one of the 4 brand new strikes, and this one is a PlayStation exclusive until year 3. There's also 3 Taken strikes that are basically remixed versions of older strikes that we've played before. The Echo Chamber strike takes place on Venus and includes raid-like mechanics. Your goal is to stop the restorative mind. The boss has a constantly rotating energy shield, and it's only vulnerable until you place a special item, which we've seen before in E3 footage. Game Informer says that strikes will have altering enemy configurations on subsequent playthroughs between 2 or 3 potential fights, often rotating in different enemy species. And finally, it ends with yet another look at the 347 Vested Dynasty. I'll go ahead and end off with a pretty full Dreadnought map. We currently don't know exactly how big it is, but this will give you a pretty good idea. Again, I want to ask you guys to please check out the articles that are linked in the description because they actually have a lot more information and will be updated as new things are discovered. Also, I saw a lot of questions about the fact that Year 1 gear is being left behind. Cosmo warned not to go dismantling just yet, as they still have more to discuss about this. Raid items, for example, might not be left behind, and your old exotics aren't going anywhere, so there's no need to worry there. And on the topic of exotics, the unique exotic perks are going to be unlocked immediately when you pick it up, so you no longer have to unlock the namesake perk of each one. So if you guys made it this far, let me know what you guys are most interested in. Personally, I really want to see all the new customization options, from the emotes to picking factions, and the new rep with the gunsmith is going to be really cool. I can't wait to try that out every single week. Thanks for watching, guys. Lots of more info coming in with Gamescom, and I will be here to cover all of it for you. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.